Yeah, just like the table if it's 2,500, just for the table. Good.
It would have come from DocuSign. Period.
So yours hasn't arrived? Mine did arrive.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not available. At the tone, please record.
Hi, I'm calling about the home for sale by owner. Is this the owner? I can tell by the tone in your voice. You hear from quite a few people, investors and realtors. Is that right? I can I can appreciate that. My name is Jessica Nelson, and I work with a lot of buyers and sellers here in Frisco. And I was just wondering, how can I help you? Yes, ma'am, I am. Am I number 85 today? Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate you providing me with that opportunity to bring you a buyer. May I ask you, are you offering any compensation to the buyer's agents who bring you an offer that you would accept, or are you expecting the buyer to pay the buyer's agent? Okay, great. Thank you for offering that. That's better than zero, right? Okay, I'm going to make a note of that. Now, let me ask you this. My name is Jessica Nelson. Who do I have the pleasure of chatting with? Amelia. Amelia, thank you for that. It's a pleasure to meet you. Amelia, when you get this home sold, where are you and your family heading to? What's important about this move? Okay. Sure, I can appreciate that. So it sounds like when you say you're not in a rush, is this more of a dream or is it an actual real goal that you want to accomplish this year? Okay. So if someone were to bring you this list price of 550 that you're asking today and they wanted to move in the next, say, 2 weeks, is that something you're realistically able to do? 4 weeks. Okay. I'll make a note of that. You do know that the best buyers are the ones that aren't going to waste time, though, right? Yeah. So we definitely don't want to turn down someone's that's maybe willing to pay you over your list price if they wanted to move in sooner. We would find a solution for you. Is that right? Okay. Great. So on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate your motivation to get this done? One being like, whatever, and 10 being like, oh no, we're doing it and we're doing it now. You are. Okay, great. Now I can see that you have had your home on the market in the past. It looks like you were working with a great agent from Keller Williams. I'm just curious, why did you decide this time to represent yourself instead of working with that person? Okay. Makes perfect sense to me. So it sounds like you don't really have an issue with hiring an agent. You're just tired of hiring people who don't do anything. You know, if I was you, I'd feel the exact same way. With all this acreage that you have and the location that you're at, it's kind of ridiculous that they weren't able to sell your house and had all these strangers coming and going last year. I can imagine that wasn't the best feeling for you and your family, was it? Mm, okay. Understood. Now I see that you back then you were priced at 525, but now you're on the market at 550. I'm just curious how you happened to come up with that pricing strategy. Makes sense. So you just priced it to add a little flexibility so that you could get what the price that you really want. Was that the idea? Okay. Great. So what is, if you could wave a magic wand, what is the ideal situation? What does that price look like? What does that commission look like? And what does that timeline look like for you? Fair enough. I'm more interested in being of service to you than I am in bringing you a lowball offer. Clearly, if I brought you a lowball offer, I'm likely not going to get paid. So that would not be the intention. What is your ideal situation in terms of price, timeline, and commissions you feel comfortable paying? Gotcha. Okay. I've made a note of that, and I think that's very fair and very doable. Now, you said that you plan to move to Van Alstyne. Have you already picked out a home there? Okay. And do you have anyone assisting you to locate that next property, or are you mostly just going to open houses and negotiating for yourself at this point? Sure. If there was a way that we could streamline the transition for you in order to make it an easier process and actually save you money versus adding to your expenses, is that something you'd want to know more about? It's a great question. Just by you asking me that demonstrates why it would be a valuable use of your time for us to get together. What's typically better for you and Bob? Are you afternoons, weekends? What's generally the best time for you to get together? Hey, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to ask a question that was too forward. Or did my service just disconnect on you? Oh, okay. So I'm glad we're on the same page there. Sometimes I don't have the best service in my house, my home office. Okay, so you said afternoons are typically best after work? Okay, great. So I am completely booked today, but I do have tomorrow at 5:30 available. Would that work for you and Bob? Okay. And in terms of what you and your family have been looking for, if you were to hire an agent, I realize right now you probably don't feel you need one with all these phone calls you're getting. But if you were to decide to hire an agent, and my intention again, provided the opportunity, is to do a great job for you, what qualities are you going to be looking for in that agent? What's important to you? Yes, ma'am. Pretty simple. Someone who has the professional integrity to be straightforward with you, show you exactly what it's going to take to get the job done. And then I'm also guessing by the simple fact that you're for sale by owner, someone who's really going to fight for you to get the highest possible net profit. Is that about right? Perfect. I wrote that down. Is there anything else that you would like me to know that's important to you? Yeah, that's a great question. So your previous agent, how much were they charging you total? 6. Okay. So if I were able to show you a way that we could get this home sold for 4%, is that something that you'd be interested in? Okay. Sounds like we're on the same page in terms of the commission. That's great. And did you receive any offers while you were on the market? I saw you were on the market for almost 6 months. Okay. And you were at 550, but you said you would be willing to accept 530. Is that right? Okay. So essentially, if we were to start at 525 and potentially get a bidding war versus sitting on the market forever at 550, as long as you get your 530, you don't care. You have to be the most savvy seller I've spoken to today. You're the only one that understands this concept, which is going to be the reason why you get what you want. Very smart. And are you, I can tell because I looked up in the records that you don't have any mortgage left on this property. Being that you do have so much strong equity, are you open to being the bank and holding the note for the next buyer, or do you just want us to get all of your cash out? Okay, so I'm going to explain a scenario and you tell me whatever is the first thing that comes to your mind. Best offer on the open market, 520. Best offer, seller financing, 550. Does that change your mind? Okay, so you would take the 520 from the open market then and get all of your cash out. Okay, got it. My job is to serve you and do what you want to do. So without asking, there's no way I would know. Is there any changes or modifications that you intend to make to the inside of the property before I start to bring buyers through? Yes, ma'am. Now, when you describe a new roof, is this something that insurance could cover if it meant that the buyer's mortgage company would not close without the replacement? Okay. Again, you're the boss, and I'm going to negotiate for you to get whatever you want. In some events where we have been under contract with not a cash buyer, but a buyer who's utilizing a loan, the mortgage lender required that the roof be replaced or they wouldn't fund the loan. So I just want us to be prepared in case that is an event that occurs for us. Okay. All right. Awesome. Well, let's What is your deductible? Yeah, you know what? It would be super helpful for me because what I could do is negotiate for your deductible to be covered, so it really doesn't cost you anything. Yeah, just let me know what you find out. Okay. And I do have your phone number here. Can you provide me with your email address so that I can send you over our track record and references if that's something you think is important? Okay. Got it. And is there anything that you think would want to know before I come over just to ensure he feels it's a good use of his time? Gotcha. I can imagine what you really want to see is something different than what you experienced before. Understood. What I could do, because I realize I'm just a stranger over the phone, I could provide you with some actual references of clients I'm currently working with. If you wanted to give them a call and ask them about our performance, I'm sure they'd be happy to hear from you. Would that be helpful to you in some way? Okay, cool. I'll add that for as well. Well, I have officially asked you 21 questions. I do appreciate your patience. What questions do you have for me before I come over tomorrow at 5:30? Yes, ma'am. Well, lastly, I realize that you need to net a certain amount and maybe you prefer to do for sale by owner a little longer. If both you and Bob felt that the plan I present makes sense, you're happy with the commission, you're happy with the list price, would you be open to hiring me tomorrow at 5:30? Okay, great. That's all I ask for is the opportunity. Well, I'm super excited to meet with both of you tomorrow. If anything comes up between now and then, you'll have all of my information and my assistant will call you to confirm that time is still good, okay? All right, I can't wait to see you tomorrow. Bye. Thank you.
Hello, this is Chris. Yes. Yeah. No. So the reason I have I'm just curious if you have any plans yeah, that's understandable. Well, hey, if you need anything, I prep about 100 homes here in themselves. If you need to ask about selling, buying, contractors, anything like that. Is there a email if I just track record information? Okay, that works. If you did do something, it sounds like it's not going to be an issue. Yes, sir. Okay. Is it all right if I just reach out to you? Very good. All right, we'll text that out to you. I'll send you that info. Just reach out. All right, thanks. Bye-bye. Judge David Knight, the state of April, and I just want to follow up. Hello, this is Chris.
Hola, estoy buscando la dueña de una casa en Birch Drive, Mesquite. Estoy la agente de bienes raíces para su vecino y se vende esa casa en 30 días. Si quieres vender su casa, llámame a 214-751-6722. Gracias.
Hello, Catherine. Hello, Catherine. David Knight. We spoke earlier while you were in the doctor's office. Follow up. Let's have a conversation at 407-453-1331. I got hot when I realized we haven't started the library since the 31st.
Lots of no answers. That's normal. Hi, Carlos. Oh.
What the hell's going on?
Hello.
Hey,
Hello. Me llamo Jessica Nelson. ¿Está Carlos? Carlos, estoy agente de bienes raíces. ¿Quieres vender esa casa en Hermes Street? ¿Quieres vender esa casa en Hermes Street?
I requested that my next watch. It's good morning, Hillary. Sure, Hillary, David Knight, conversed about 2 weeks ago. Just wanted to follow up. That's fresh on him.
I'm so sorry. I'll go ahead and move you up.
Just curious to see if you folks feel right. I don't like how it's not Not being productive, it'll
Hi, I'm calling about the property on Lionheart Drive. Do I have the pleasure to? So strange. Okay, well, I'd like to get you removed from the list. Once I find the homeowner, I'll ask them to remove the number. Do you happen to know a Samuel Moore by any chance? Is it like a cousin or anything? So strange. Okay, well, you enjoy the weather up there. It's about to start getting real hot here. Bye bye. Lots of wrong numbers. That's totally normal. And of course, they're frustrated. They've heard from 80 agents. Just be nice to them. No, boys. No.
we got to wrap it up stuff.
That makes sense. Yeah. I know my job is
Boy, stop it. Hey.
Sorry, wrong number. Yeah. Please.
Get down, Harry. Is your brother being a bad boy? He is. Rudy's a good boy.
I can't imagine that. Yeah. I can imagine, oh, I didn't have that phone on me at the time. Just carrying two phones just seems problematic.
Lots of no answers, lots of wrong numbers. It's normal. It used to be so much easier to be a cold caller back in the day.
I don't know how to feel about this.
Yes, sir. I'm truly sick. Friend's household. Yes, sir. You're welcome.
Yeah, hi, I'm Chris. Hey, Deborah, the reason I called is I had something in the papers from tickets home with us this week. And I was curious if y'all had any future plans to set up about your book club.
Hello, good morning, this is
If you did something.
I saw that it came out the market is canceled. I'm curious to find out if it's still happening.
No problem. Well, if you need anything, I can prep about it. Yeah. I figured out the operations. My first record of information. Issued something. Very good. And then last thing, we should not get involved in the 10 months or so, just to say hi and see how you're tracking. Very good. Have a great day. Bye. These are actually I forgot about silence.
We noticed that it came out the market. Find out.
But you may need to try.
Well, actually, we need new funding this time around.
I had one of my great works.
Okay, my number has likely been flagged as spam, so I'm gonna change numbers. I'm gonna hop off for a little bit.
Sometimes I get paid the day after days.